Seems that way, doesn't it?
Generally speaking.
Yeah. And there's a Kalista ban right off the bat.
Wow.
You know, I don't know about that. I don't think it was a Kalista pick that did it. I think it was just Bang and Peekaboo getting rocked in the bot lane. But maybe they just are admitting they don't know how to play against Kalista. I don't know. I mean,
I'm actually pretty surprised because in my mind the Thresh was the bigger issue right there, and of course Peekaboo wants to take that Thresh also, but
yeah, I don't know about that ban. I think it's a little bit too reactionary.
I agree.
Well, they're going to go ahead and ban the Rumble against Marin, as you do, as always. And what's that final ban going to be now against Najin? It's going to be Rek'Sai against Peanut.
So the Lee Sin is available for the first time. They did replace the Lee Sin ban with the Kalista ban. SK Telecom now. Will Najin ban the Veigar again? In game 1, they banned the Nunu. They are going to go with the Veigar, so they've decided that the Nunu is not a problem. I disagree. I think that Peanut still lost his red buff to Benki just walking in on him.
That's very true.
At level 2, and Corki taken again. Okay. So ball's in Najin's court. Now, SK Telecom played Graves into Corki in the first game, still an option. The last game, Bang suffered his first defeat on Corki this entire season so far.
You can still say he's only lost one game on Corki all season, though.
Yes.
So still doesn't sound so bad. Peanut on your screen right there. New jungler for Najin. That dude is really tiny. I walked past him during one of the breaks. He comes up to like my shoulder.
He's still growing. He's a growing boy.
I guess so. I mean, he's 17 Korean age, which at this point, if he just has birthday, would mean he's 16 in traditional Western age reckoning.
I believe he actually is 17.
Oh, he is?
Yes, he is.
17? Oh, really?
Birthday is in 1998.
98, wow.
There's something to make you feel old.
I feel old. I do feel old. And I feel wise.
Also, Kane's going to feel old too because he was born in '87. He is 11 years older.
Wow. Think about that.
He is 11 years older than Peanut. Impressive. Very impressive.
Is it really impressive just to be born at a certain time and
to still be playing
somebody else?
Yeah, to still be playing League of Legends and the ripe old age of 28.
It's because Monte Cristo, the support role is a position of the mind, and only the most intelligent can handle it. And really, even though my APM may not be up where it used to be, the mind is still strong.
That explains why you're such a bad support player.
I am not a bad. You take that back. I am not a bad support player, Mister. I'm gonna play Gangplank every game. You have no right to talk. Looks like Leona's going to be the pickup against the Thresh this time around for SK Telecom. I think Peekaboo is going to feel maybe a bit more comfortable on that. And Benki does get the Jarvan, too. Okay.
Yeah. So Leona coming in this time. Of course, we did see Kane take that up. But SK Telecom going forward the Corki Leona lane that Najin fielded in game 1. But Graves Thresh could be used right here. Now, Veigar was the support alongside the Graves in that first game. We haven't seen a Twitch in quite some time.
Do you think we would see a Twitch, though, in this case? I mean, you'd have a lot of CC, you'd have a lot of good targets for spray and pray, but yet you'd be locked down so easily by Solar Flare, Cataclysm. It'd be a very risky pick.
I agree.
If
I think
they
it's
chose
very
it.
dangerous. And they're actually going to wait to select their
I think that's a good idea.
AD carry until they know exactly what's going on right here. Lee Sin and Lulu the lock-in, so Rain will be reprising his role on the champion he played in game 1. And now, let's see here.
Well, they've got mid and top to consider. Nara's still available if Marn wants to trade. Could also bring that Renekton in, possibly.
Yeah, we could see that up against Lysandra. Maybe he bullied out a little bit early on.
Ahri for Faker makes a lot of sense.
Of course, Ahri receiving some of those nerfs in the latest patch does make her have to get a little bit closer in order to get the damage down from her Foxfire.
With someone with Faker's mechanics, so I don't feel like that would be as big of a concern. And I love this Maokai. I think this is perfect. Yeah.
I agree with you, Doa. They've got really solid engage this game, and they've got a very mobile back line with some good poke. And they also have a lot of pick potential, too, with this team. So they've got a very well-rounded composition that comes in. The main concern is, are they a little bit AP heavy here because of the Corki, Ari, and mFire together?
Do they really have a big concern with that, though? Is there won't be any big hyper tank? No. No way.
Oh,
all right.
And they're going to do it. They're going to try.
They're running it.
The Juggernaut. This is something only the GE Tigers have been able to pull off.
Well, if they can win against SK Telecom with this composition, I will be very impressed.
I will be very impressed,
frankly,
too.
very surprised, too.
The problem with this, with running this composition, if you are Najin, is that you haven't had great vision, and this is a composition that is very vulnerable to flanks.
Yeah.
And you have to play poke pretty aggressively, because if we've seen other people try and run this, and if the Kog'Maw isn't the one that receives the wild growth, if the other team can get a flank on you, which Marin certainly can with a home guard teleport, and you have to burn the wild growth on somebody who's not Kog'Maw, Kog'Maw just gets blown up.
Yeah.
And especially when you're having Faker play Ari, I don't really think this is a great idea from Najin. I think that with their newer players, this may be a little bit overly ambitious.
Well, we'll see. I mean, you also need a carry with impeccable positioning 100% of the game. We'll see if they can pull it off. SKT versus Najin, Game 3. Let's do it. Is it weird that I just want that bird to land on Faker's head and go caw during the middle of that intro? I don't know. SKT.
I just wanted
versus Najin.
I just wanted the Faker to be a falconer and just have it in one of the big leather gloves on his arm, and then remove the hood, and then it flies away.
I just want Faker to like swoop down with bird wings and like pick up Easyhoon in his talons and like carry him off. This is getting much too silly now. Hold on. We're losing some of that vital professionalism. And no ward kill for you, Sir Bengi. Well, I mean, we'll see if Oku can pull this off. It's something that, like we said before, only Prey and the GE Tigers have been able to do. And you need a very coordinated team. You need a very positionally knowledgeable AD carry. Oku is good, but is he...
He's also
Kog'Maw comp good.
He's also the AD
like
carry that, in spite of his immense individual skill, does have a tendency to flash in wild directions in the late game.
That is true, yeah.
So,
and honestly, this is a champion that's probably not going to be getting 5 kills in the first few minutes of the game this time too.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Well.
Oh, look at this. They're going to give the little Raptors to Faker this time. Interesting.
That is a very cute little play right there. So notice what Marin did. Threw a sapling in to detonate, and Faker actually able to use his Q, 1Q, to go ahead and clear that out for a lane advantage. Now, Marin's going to get to lane a little bit late, but SK Telecom showing some very interesting early game strategies throughout the night. We've seen a lot of invades from them. We've seen some very interesting aggressive pushing plays that resulted in buff takeaways and good deep wards. And now that is something I've never seen before, Doa.
It's very cool. Let's see what Faker is able to turn that one into. A little bit of pushing back now, coming in as Bang and Pickaboo will have a bit of an early lead. Looking at those top laner stats right now, Marin, his Maokai is very, very good, and he seems to be great on those top laners that can just sort of wade into a fight and just sit there,
Indeed, and for Najin this game, of course, that magic resist is going to be pretty crucial for them.
Oh, definitely.
In terms of their late game, but a lot of magic damage from Najin as well. Remember that some of Kog'Maw's damage, particularly on the Bio-Arcane Barrage, does end up being magical, so. But he does have the range advantage to hit with items like Infinity Edge. In order to make up for it, Peanut looking for an early gank on a Faker.
And he's going to find him. Faker throwing out that Orb of Deception, taking a lot of damage, and can they finish him off? Ignite ticking away, and they even get the flash out of Peanut at the end. Meanwhile, a gank up in top lane, and Duke is going to get taken down. First blood goes to Peanut. Or rather, goes to Bengi.
That's right. Peanut overextending a little bit in there, in that mid-lane skirmish, nearly sacrificing his life, and Rain not able to pick up a kill. Meanwhile, as soon as they saw that in the top side, it was all too easy to get Duke's Lissandra. Duke is just a little underwhelming on Lissandra tonight.
Yeah. True enough. I mean, you know Duke's having an off night when somebody else besides him gets MVP.
It was a very impressive performance by Najin, generally speaking.
All right, well, a little bit of a edge early on for SK Telecom. It's going to be nice to get Bengi that early kill, that little boost of money. And he's still going. He has not gone back to buy yet. Still rocking those double buffs. It looks like they may try to go in on Duke again.
Duke still has flash, though, so I'm not sure how effective this is going to end up being. He's very close to his turret.
I think Twist Advance coming in. They're going to chase him. There's a knock-up. There's the E, and they prevent it. Wow, another kill, and he flashes right before death. It could not have gone worse for Duke.
What a great chaining of CC right there to interrupt his E.
Yeah.
Great setup from SK Telecom. Didn't think he's going to be able to get that, and Duke is like, well, looks like I'm getting a taste of my own medicine. They repeatedly ganked Marin in the top side in game 1, and this time Marin turning it around onto Duke. Duke with 2 quick deaths here.
That was just beautiful, man. Twisted Advance into the QE combo from Jarvan, into the Arcane Smash to knock him out of the E. That was perfect.
Right, and he couldn't even flash right there either. That's the whole thing about it, is that he threw out the E and was trying to spam it. Bang.
Bang,
eating a lot of harass right there.
That's dangerous. Peekaboo had to go really deep for that. Yeah, you can't get grabbed like that. Yeah, that's just a simple mistake in lane. You can't let yourself get hit with the death sentence. You have to be aware of when those minions are going down, because it's so popular. I mean, everyone should be doing this, throwing that through right as a minion dies. You know, but as an AD carry, you got to watch for that stuff.
So Duke is able to break the freeze right here. He feels comfortable thanks to Peanut's presence on the top side. Now, Peanut, we got to see what he can do on this Lee Sin. Remember that it was banned in the first 2 games of this series. Obviously, SK Telecom thinking that he is a major threat on this champion. Because it's not a ban we actually see too often anymore.
Well, they nearly killed Faker. Peanut maybe blowing his flash a little bit preemptively in that play, but we'll see what he can do at this point.
But they just haven't been able to follow up on Faker's flash being blown. And now he's got the Spirit Rush up in order to deal with any aggression. Man, this is shut down Duke.
I guess
Camp Duke.
Camp Duke. Faker is been to Camp Faker. Becomes Bengi as well.
Duke isn't even 6.
Duke's got to know something's up here.
This is not going to end well.
Oh, Duke. It's been nice knowing you, man, but death number 3 is on the way.
Great timing from SK Telecom as well.
Duke's dead. He doesn't even know yet. There we go. Tries to E away. Can't do it, and that was fast. Very, very fast. Faker picks up the kill. It's been so perfect for SKT as well. A kill for Marin, a kill for Bengi, a kill for Faker. Very well spread around. Really beautiful stuff.
Yeah, and this is, we see the effects that can really snowball out of control. There was really nothing Duke could do there.
Yeah.
Without level 6, can't use that Frozen Tomb on himself to hope and pray that something is going to turn around for him under the tower in the top side. And
man, it's like Duke's turned into a fast food place, and everybody on SKT has a coupon for a free cheeseburger. Just going to drive by and pick it up. Close call for Bang there. And I feel like if anything's going to get Najin back in this game, it's going to be Bang and Peekaboo getting killed in bot lane.
Well, they've got to turn it around somehow.
Yeah.
They don't even have arguably the stronger late game here because they just don't have a tank.
Yeah.
And because they're delaying Duke's zone, oh my.
Really?
This is disgusting. Really? There's no wards though.
He has no flash. He does have his ultimate.
I mean,
now.
he has no wards on the top side. Like, if you're Peanut right now, you need to start getting some wards down so that Duke can actually like get experience. Bengi going after the red buff right here. It's going to be checked on by Duke, though. They do have a pink ward deep in on that side. Now he's going to see...
Marin. He walked through the brush, though. There was a ward there.
He can't even deal with this. Faker's now walking into the top side. Bengi has been playing the map so well tonight. You really have to give him credit for that.
Oh, man. And they're going to go ahead and do right out of that W. Doesn't matter. Faker gets him with the charm. Uses the ult. Peanut is there. Can he save him? No. And another kill for Faker. What does Rain do against this? There's not much you can do. Rain, his opponent is getting it. Here comes the teleport. Kane could be in trouble here. Canceled, and it will push Kane and OQ back just a bit.
Kane and OQ doing their best to play aggressively with all this action at the top side right now, and they continually see Bang up there, but they just don't have that strong of a kill lane, and Kog'Maw has to be very careful. Team B coming in. Here comes Duke. He's got no ult.
Yep.
Or flash, or anything.
Well, he saw the teleport used by Marin already. He's like, all right, might as well give it a shot too. Well, I guess.
At least they guarantee themselves a dragon out of this. It was an okay teleport. Yeah, he couldn't really make a play right there, but...
That was kind of the plan, though. Come down, see if you can make a play, then rotate over to dragon if nothing happens. Yep, so they get a dragon. Still a big lead for SKT. 4 kills to nothing, and it looks like Marin's going to be able to take out this top lane turret without too much trouble. They're going to try to catch Faker in mid, but he's already on his way out. Still has that flash. Can't hit Kane with that charm, though.
And nobody clearing out pink wards in the top side either. Yeah. Just Marin can proxy farm all day with the wards in this position.
Yeah, he's getting a massive lead right now.
This is reminiscent of the last game where we...
What is this? 76 to 36 CS.
Yeah, it was just like last game when OQ was doubling Bang CS.
Yeah.
And look at this too. Marin actually manages to reverse the wave, so looks like he's actually just going to clear it out and push it some more, but he had the chance to let it bounce back against his own tower.
Now, OQ has gotten a nice little CS lead against Bang, but, I mean, like you said, they have no tank. How are they going to use this in the late game? SKT just walks in and gives a very easy blue buff over. See if they give that one too. Looks like it will go to Bengi.
Well, SKT, you have to give them credit. Even in that loss, they were playing the objective game and the vision game so much better than Najin.
Wow, Rain really comes in with the, there's the flash. Okay, so Rain gets out. Faker uses his ult. Rain doesn't have to use his, but the summoner is down.
And they're trying to do something here. Peanut's here, but
they may be able to catch him here. We'll see. There's a flash.
Chilling
they
smite.
get it kicked against the wall. Q connects, and Peanut's going to follow him in. There's a play. Fox doesn't hit him, though. Bang turns around to try to make something out of it. Can't quite kill Kane. There we go. Now in onto OQ now. Peekaboo. He does not have his ult available. He just is not even level 6 yet.
Oh, wow.
Well,
actually, Kane flashed out of the Cataclysm right there, so
yeah.
OQ still on the... I don't know
OQ.
if flashing right there was worthwhile.
I mean,
you're not going to get away. Maybe you can get executed.
This would be the most exciting escape for Kog'Maw ever if this actually
Wow,
happens.
is he going to make it out? Wow,
I think he is. Wow.
What?
Oh, Peekaboo coming in. It's all on him now. Time to get bloodthirsty. Kane is there to try to save him.
Lantern.
All he needs is a lantern, and there it is. I can't believe they got OQ out of there. Wow.
Well, I take it back, though. That actually turned out to be a good use of flash, but who would have thought that he'd be able to come out of that? Now, they did have some wards down there in the bottom side, and Kane with the sliver of health after flashing out of Cataclysm immediately. Now, they still have a lot of other problems. They lost the bottom turret in that whole ring around the jungle, which, you know, that's a fair trade for SKT. They don't need to pick up that kill, and at the end of the day, Faker got right back into the mid lane to push back this wave and prevent any pressure, so there wasn't too much wasted from T1 right there.
I thought Lee Sin was good at escaping, and then I found out about Kog'Maw.
The ooze.
The ooze, that's right. He abused the ooze.
He did abuse the ooze.
Yeah. He knew the secret of the ooze.
Slowing down Faker.
Just like Master Splinter. Yep. Well, they're going to kick Bang out. Well, that was interesting. Okay.
No follow-up there.
And sometimes you just got to kick someone over a wall. It's fun.
Well, if Duke and Peanut had been on the same page, that actually could have been a very good setup.
I was expecting like a flash ult from Lysandra, yeah, but it didn't come through. The range just wasn't quite there for Duke, I guess.
Not a good night for Duke's Lissandra. Very surprising to see him losing this hard in lane.
Yeah. It is a bit puzzling, isn't it? Marin really kind of coming alive a bit after that first game. Solar Flare slows Kane. They don't get the stun. Oh! Bang runs right into the death sentence. He manages to make it out, but wow. Just valked right into that death sentence.
Yeah, I'm curious, Toa, because they're by preying on Duke repeatedly right here, that it really needed Peanut to be up there and trying to counter gank to the top side, because in the professional setting, the fact that they're going to just continue to walk up there does seem relatively clear.
Yeah.
And so you have to be able to be there and make the plays. Peanut cannot do red buff right now.
Oh, there's a shield. Maybe Ken. Oh, it's healing a bit, though. They're going to need some help from Kane and Oki. He's like, can I get a leash, please?
Going to take it away eventually.
Yep.
That does get it low enough. And OQ, the hope of his team right now, but he went Berserker Greaves first for some mobility, more than likely against this Leona.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It certainly slows things down, but it makes a certain amount of sense.
Duke just trying to freeze as best as he can. He's got a lot of farming to do before he is a relevant force in this game again.
Yeah.
I do wonder if he's going to try and go for those faster home guards, even though he is this far behind. And he's got to make some sort of play.
Martin just activating that ult to clear the wave a bit more. Yeah, and OQ's still getting some CS. I mean, it really is going to come down a lot to the nice deny on the recall. It is going to come down a lot to what can OQ do in the late game, you know? Can he and Rain synergize well enough to make this Juggermaw strategy work?
That's why I wouldn't run this right now, because you're relying on the key players in this are your rookie players, and that's a risk there, Najin. It's true, it's a risk.
I mean, I appreciate the idea of pushing someone to their limits, you know, to kind of seeing where they're at, but it's a bit of a risky thing to do in a game 3 of a series like this. I feel like they could have gone for a safer comp and given themselves a better chance to win it.
I feel like GE just laughs whenever they see this now. They're like, yes, we
right?
mind gave them into it.
Oh boy, Marin's going to try to do some damage to Duke. Duke forced to ult Marin. That's a lot of damage, though. Meanwhile, everyone jumps onto OQ, gets out via Kane's Lantern. Kane throws a box. They're going to catch Peekaboo and Bang in there. A kill comes in for Bengi, and SKT chasing Peekaboo a bit low. Bengi needs to escape as well. Faker's got to save him. Nice charm onto Kane. Wow, that was a great play from Faker, but Bengi will still go down.
They actually did turn that around in a pretty impressive fashion, though. So at the end of the day, they do trade 2 for 2, but Mara just keeps on split pushing in the top side.
I haven't seen anyone dirty farming this deep since like Machnoon's Rengar like 2 years ago.
It's pretty lopsided. It's been weird today to see one best of 3 with 2 such lopsided lanes. It's very unusual. So Faker sees an opportunity. This is the charm, but Peekaboo follows up with the Zenith blade. But there's the Kog'Maw just baiting everybody in. OQ able to get a lot of auto attacks off due to Kane's fantastic peel right there.
Well, Bang walked right into a death sentence again, but look at that. He actually charmed him right at the end of the flash.
Yeah, looks like just was barely out of range for a play.
Well, he couldn't play because he got charmed.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. So that was just Faker doing a good job of predicting where Kane was going to try to go.
Probably not worth it to flash right there, because you could have just turned into the mid lane at that point and tried to take that down instead, considering everybody else was fairly chunked out.
Well, looks like Dragon is alive again. We'll see if SK Telecom can grab him. Faker gets hit with the death sentence. Wow. He's in big trouble. Spirit rushes away. Marin zoning with that ultimate, but this is going to make it tough to get the Dragon. They're going to play Marin in, get that flash as well. Najin setting up for a good Dragon. Marin gets hit with the ult from Duke. Bengi blocks in, or jumps in, gets kicked back by Peanut, and there's a kill for OQ. I don't know why you would go in on that with Bengi, but I don't know why you would do that if you were Bengi. But they paid for it, and I don't think that SKT is going to be able to contest this Dragon.
Well, I think they thought maybe they could turn it around, but wow, OQ is just spamming like taunts right now from the Kog'Maw. Very dangerous. Oh, here comes.
Going to go in on the Peanut. They're going to knock him back.
Kog'Maw.
Yeah, that's right. Can they get him though? OQ locked up by Peekaboo just a bit. A kill comes in for Corki actually. Going to get taken out again, but there's a kill on the Duke to follow it up. SKT turning this one around. Faker flashes for the charm after Rain's flash, and that's going to be another kill as Peekaboo comes in with the Zenith blade to keep him all wrapped up until Faker can take that one. So at the end of all of it, SK Telecom will walk away with their first Dragon of the game.
Look at Marin's itemization this game. So he completed the Catalyst, and instead of going for the Rod of Ages, which would have taken a long time to ramp up and not given him that immediate power spike, he mixes it up and says, hey, I've got this big advantage. I'm just going to go for the Warden's Veil and the Cowl now so that I can just compound my lead in the mid game and not wait for that power spike later on. Turned out to be a very good decision.
Good idea.
So here comes Marin zooming in with the home guards again. One of his specialties. Rain is just in the mid lane farming, and so this is easily turned around because nobody can kill Marin right now. And everyone else, no mana, no HP on the side of Najin. Pina does make a play to get onto Bang at the end and take him down. But
you know, I do have to say I'm a little bit worried about SKT because Bang has been eating death sentences like they're the healthiest thing he's ever consumed. He's literally, his last two deaths have been him valking into death sentences.
Bang has seemed a little bit off the last couple of weeks, that's for sure. Rain actually doing a nice job dodging skill shots right there.
Yep, you do need to get a bit closer with Ari now that it's patch 5.3. The range for where the ult and the Foxfire hit are a little bit lower now.
Attempted red buff takeaway. Kane walking around the side. Bengi getting cut off.
He got ulted. He got grabbed by the death sentence as well. Marin on the run. They're going to get the kill onto Bengi. Solar Flare doesn't hit Marin though, so no slow there. Peanut chasing with that Lulu shield, but he's going to have to turn around again. Meanwhile, Bang just working on that tier 2. He's like, ha, I've solved the problem. I just won't go near the thresh.
Well, here's the thing, though, is if he gets this tier 2 right now, it's definitely going to be massively worth it because they made Najin commit all 5 members to that red buff.
He did a lot of damage to it.
And looks like he's not going to quite get it. Marin, pretty far up in the lane right now when he knows that there were 5 people just on the top side of the map.
There's a chilling smite used. Marin's going to pop that ultimate for a little bit of survivability, but it looks like it won't quite be enough. Wow, with the play, going to turn around with that twisted advance, but unfortunately for him, not catching OQ within turret range.
Not sure why he would extend that far down the lane when he just was in the enemy jungle and he knew that 5 members of Najin were there. Critically, Najin's warding is much better.
Oh, Rain caught without a flash here. He can ult himself, but he's going to be in big trouble. There's a kill for Bang. Whoops.
SKT should be able to take this one home in the end, one would think.
Well, I mean, they've gotten the turrets, you know, they've gotten the outer ring now. Najin's not really going to be able to do any sort of sieging, which is kind of part of what this composition is for. And it just does not look like, I mean, OQ's 2-0-4. He hasn't played bad, but I don't know. Like we talked about earlier, I just don't know if Najin is ready as a cohesive unit to run a comp like this. It's not really looking like it yet.
Well, it's also just this Maokai. I mean, that he's the guy you didn't want ahead with this composition because the idea is that you have to kill the Maokai. With this composition that Najin's running, you have to be able to shred their front line before you can do anything else. And it's just not going to happen. Pina gets stalled up by a root right there, so can't get the kickback. But when you have the Maokai get so far ahead so early, get that quick frozen heart, what are you going to do? Najin not really going to have a lot of answers to that, and OQ is very far away from a Blade of the Ruined King to start really percent damaging Marin's Maokai, so it's going to be quite difficult indeed for them to take him out, and as long as Maokai can live long enough to continue to CC the Kog'Maw has to be in front.
Yeah. I think the itemization is really good for SK Telecom as well. We see Bengi already with that Aegis, so they're dealing with a bit of the magic damage coming out of Kog'Maw. They're helping with the magic damage coming out of Lulu and Lissandra, obviously, and so you've really got everything covered kind of already, you know. Giant Spelt as well for Bengi, just giving him that extra survivability.
Looks like the split push will just continue. Duke up in top. Marin tooling around inside the NBO array.
Oh, gets caught with a perfect solar flare. And
right into a charge.
Faker, yep.
Nice work by Faker to take a move.
Yep, that's right. Over the wall into OQ. OQ has his flash. He's going to have to burn it there. And meanwhile, Pina coming in, kicks Bengi out, gets played as well. Kane throwing down that ultimate. Duke deep in the back lines. They locked up Faker enough to get a kill. That's 2 actually for OQ. This could get dangerous here. OQ doing a lot. Marin finally getting poked down as 1v4. Bang comes in to try to save him. Will this be a kill for Bang? It looks like it will be. He's going to turn. He's going to go deep. Get the double. Maybe the triple. He will almost get the triple. He gets a triple. Would have been a quadra, I believe, if Peekaboo hadn't stolen one.
Well, right there,
Big, though, either
Bang
way.
not only came up with the big play, but the critical heal as well to keep Marin alive in that situation. So let's take a look at that one again, because it looks like a pretty aggressive dive. Okay, so they get Rain right here. Marin is on the side. Faker does take quite a bit of damage. Bengi tries to dive right here, and this is too aggressive at the moment. Peanut able to use the ward hop to flash Bengi back and kick him in. Faker does miss the charm, and Kane lands yet another hook. Duke comes in, finds Faker under the turret. Easy kill right there. But watch the summoner heal come in onto Marin right here at pretty much the last possible second. Right there.
Very nice.
Oh, it wasn't the summoner heal at all, just the Maokai passive.
Very nice either way.
Yeah, so the Maokai passive coming up at the right time on the auto. Bang actually probably should have used the heal a little bit earlier. He did get a little bit lucky, because if Martin had absorbed a couple of extra auto attacks right there, then it may have been problematic, as Bang could have been turned on pretty quickly without getting some rockets down onto OQ first. So. But it all worked out in the end.
Yeah, SKT with their second dragon after things are all said and done as well, and a nice comfortable 6,000 gold lead as we move into the later stages of the mid game. Poor Rift Coward, taken out by Bengi.
Constantly doomed.
Yep, that's right. Did you know the Rift Sculler actually does have some attack damage in case it gets charmed, needs some damage. Or taunted, yeah.
I did not know that.
Can actually do damage, yeah. The more you know.
Okay, well, not much dodging can do at this stage. Still pretty darn far behind.
Yeah.
And in spite of Faker's one death in that last engagement, he's proved pretty effective at creating picks on Najin so far. OQ still having a big game. Those kills really going to propel him forward to that very necessary Blade of the Ruined King right now. That is the one bright spot, I think. We can see coming in. Looks like Marin homing in on a Banshee's Veil now.
Yeah, OQ is starting to get to that point where the damage is going to be a bit scary. So if Najin can keep him alive, he can still do damage. But I don't think SKT wants to give them that opportunity.
Najin's warding in their own jungle has been significantly improved this game. That is something to note. Had a lot more vision control than usual. It's just unfortunate that they failed to protect Duke in the early game. Of course, that overextension, Duke's fault, and then SKT did do a beautiful job of capitalizing on his level deficiency and diving him right before he could hit 6. That was just fantastic timing.
Yeah.
But I do feel that Peanut, and even perhaps Kane, could have done more, because certainly Kane, if he could have let OQ lose a bit of CS and play safe against his turret and tried to make some sort of play up in the top side.
Very true.
Also enabled by poor early warding, where Bengi and Faker were able to have free reign over the top side of Najin. Top side jungle of Najin, that is.
We're in a little bit of trouble. Taking some damage. And Marin, yep, with the split push now. He's got the teleport. So does Duke, but Marin has the items.
So just a game of defense from Najin right now until they can get this Kog'Maw even bigger. It's fortunate for Najin that OQ does have as many kills as he does right now. Now we see completed Blade. He's working on it ever so slowly, but the split push proving pretty debilitating from SK Telecom. You can see Faker, they're trying to bait him in right now to an all-in, but not going to work. Cade right there. And Faker not going to make an overly aggressive move, just instead takes down the turret.
Polite golf clap from the audience for that turret kill. They're quite pleased. Marin's just going to recall right next to Duke. And And so Najin taking the opportunity to get a little bit more vision back in their top jungle, and they do need to start worrying about Baron at this point. They've got a ward in the pit, but SKT can start to make some moves towards possibly baiting that if they wanted to. Yeah, 5-1 for turrets though. And SK Telecom, as long as they can kind of stay sane, you know, and keep playing the way they've been playing, they should be able to pick this one up.
Yeah, Najin certainly looking like they have some rough spots to work on in terms of their new players, but you know, that's to be expected.
Oh yeah, of
I think
course.
honestly that Peanut and Rain have had a pretty solid debut.
I think it's an
considering.
I feel like it's an improvement over what we've seen from Watch and Goong in recent weeks. I mean, especially Watch. I hate to pick on the guy, but
Watch wards more though is the thing, and a lot of the issues from Najin have come due to a lack of wards. You are trading, at the current time, Najin is trading some more advanced warding for some playmaking ability out of Peanut, which, you know, it worked out in the first couple of games, I would argue.
And here we go, SKT going for a Baron. They know they've got the vision advantage. Najin knows something's up though. They're coming in. Baron is getting a bit low, but yeah, I think you have to disengage from this. Here's the teleport coming in from RN. Gonna zone a bit. SKT turns back onto the Baron again. Bengi getting very, very low. He's behind the Baron. They do get it. Can they get away though? Looks like they're just gonna kind of position a bit. Yep.
Great warding from SK Telecom right there. No safe way to check that Baron bit with the sheer number of pink wards for encircling that objective. And so it makes it quite easy. And that was just a great teleport timing from Marin as well, coming in towards the end of the Baron just to zone them out while his team didn't have to turn in that situation. Marin now with an Abyssal Scepter. So, curious. Okay.
Interesting. Well, it does.
I thought he was going for the Veil, but it does, yeah, I think
it's a good item. Oh boy, goodbye, dude. Wow. Faker's starting to evaporate, people. He's almost got his Zonias. He's got some laughing going on too, but
this is what happens when Faker gets on champions like Ahri or LeBlanc.
Yes,
These highly mobile mages. Faker's good at very, very many things, but these, I mean, Ahri and LeBlanc are really what he is best at.
Yeah.
His Ahri win rate right now is sitting at 9-5, 14 games overall, so nearly 65% win rate on that champion. His second most played champion of all time behind Orianna.
It's amazing that Orianna is still his most played champion.
Well, I don't think she's been prevalent in so many metas that over a couple of years.
It just feels like it should be something else by now, you know. But I think he's just got such a huge champion pool that, you know, he played all those games on Orianna and then played a bunch of games on everything else.
It's true. Well, interestingly though, out of his top 5 champions, Faker has the lowest win percentage on Ahri.
Oh, really?
But after this game, it will be above Orianna. if they win.
So there you go.
They win, but they're probably going to win.
If they win with their 12,000 gold lead now and their 6-1 turn lead.
And their unkillable monster tank.
That's right.
Marin is just so good on Maokai. I think as soon as Nar starts to drop off in terms of play, we'll see Marin starts to do better and better on this pickup.
Yeah. You know, in 5.3 too, they did have the changes where Nar is out of Mega Nar form for a bit longer. He's tired for longer before he can start to build up rage again.
The Mega Nar is shorter as well, so we've seen that affect this draft. I mean, normally when we would see Nar at a nearly 100% pick ban rate, in this last 2 games, he's fallen all the way through the draft, in fact.
Yeah.
And I think that Najin may have tunneled a little bit too hard on Lysandra. Duke really hasn't been performing in the last couple of games on that particular champion. And he would have had, I think, more escapability with the Gnar in the top lane because you don't have to wait for the E. You just simply hop away. And he could have gotten out of some of those situations that he found himself dying in this game for sure. And he's just been better on it overall. So, of course, the Lysandra is a big takeaway from SK Telecom, and that's the reason why they decided to eliminate it. Oops.
Oh, Q didn't connect, yep. If Peanut had hit that skill shot, maybe they could have done something there. Either way, Marin's going to take out this inhibitor turret. Looks like Solar Flare goes down. They catch Kane. There's this advance. Bengi going in. They want to get some kills here. Duke comes over the wall. He does zone some people out.
Wow, Peanut on Bang again.
What
That's
the
the
world?
second or third time he's actually been able to get back there and kill Bang.
Yeah, Bengi on the disengage now, but Marin's going to go ahead, and jump in there with the flash twisted advance to just push Rain back a bit more. They will get that, will they? Will they get the inhibitor?
Has no mana right
looks
now,
like they will.
so there's not really many plays that can be made. Peanut really has done a good job of tying up the AD carry on this Lee Sin. He somehow seems to sneak into the back line and get those crucial kicks down time and time again.
Oh, Faker, he gets the charm. But Rain is right there.
Yeah, decides not to go all in on that. He was a little bit too far away, and without the Spirit Rush up, it would have been a pretty far-fetched attempt to get it, but you can at least get a little bit of poke damage right there. Faker speeding himself up right there with the Q, trying to catch OQ out, but OQ has that ward. We'll see him coming in. Cute trick, though.
Can you really catch OQ with a Q? I don't know. Faker's 7-1-1 on this Ahri right now, and wow, he just picked up his Void Staff. Still nearly enough to finish that Zhonya's too. All right, let's watch this fight again.
Yeah, Peanut getting in on the backside. Duke and Bang going for that assassination, trying to stall out the game as long as possible. Kick, resonating strike combo for the finisher, but Faker and Peekaboo are right there, taking out Duke. Duke has 8 deaths.
Wow.
Probably his worst series.
Yeah, I would think so.
Definitely his worst series so far this season.
Yeah, easily the worst series this season. Maybe all time. We'll see.
Which, he did have a good game 1, but his Lissandra play just hasn't looked quite as on point as his Gnar Rumble play has this season. Yeah. And also, it's not entirely his fault. Some of these ganks.
Oh, teleporting into the base. Rain slowed down, and that leaves Marin with an opportunity for a twisted advance. A kill for Faker. And they're going to get the turret. There goes the inhibitor now. Faker with some more damage onto Duke. And they can just rotate up to top lane as well. There's nothing. Oh, the charm hits. Peanut kicks Marin away, but there's another kill coming in. This could almost be an ace even. Wow, twisted advance. Marin's not done yet, man. Duke ults himself, but all of SKT is there. Zhonya's, he's still going to blow up so fast, but the turret damage is starting to add up. Not enough, though. Peekaboo taking that for just a bit longer, and it looks like SKT is going to be able to end it right here. OQ trying his best to defend. Bang coming in, shredding, getting that Gatling gun, and that is going to be it. The Nexus will fall, and SK Telecom, just like in round 1, will take down Najin 2-1. GG.
Wow. Well, that was a very fun series.
Yeah, it was.
It wasn't the cleanest from Najin, that's for sure. Some mistakes in game 2 from SK Telecom, but SKT really looking like the veteran team in this series, significantly better vision control overall, but Najin, they've got some spark to them, that's for sure. And
they're exciting. I'm excited to see where they're going to go from here. I think Peanut Rain could really work out.
I'm intrigued. Yeah. Of course, you really can never bet on a solo queue talent becoming a top-tier professional player because there's so much more to think about in the professional game, and it's all about that teamwork aspect. Well, OQ looking pretty upset after that last series, but what can you do? He had a good night tonight overall.
I mean, the fact is that it's going to be pretty tough for Najin to get into playoffs at this point, and that's got to weigh pretty heavily on these guys, but, you know, it's still a good chance to play a spoiler. They maybe, by some miracle, could still get to the playoffs, and certainly